Hey guys, and welcome back to another speed build video on my channel. In this video, we are busy building a sinkhole house, and the main idea of this build is that I have already done a valley build, which is basically a house at the top of a valley, and I decided, seeing as I did the one extreme, I wanted to do the other extreme using the terrain tools. So I made a massive hole in the floor and decided this would be a sinkhole. And the story that I kind of thought up while doing this build is that perhaps this family bought this lot, they haven't built on it or anything, and then an unfortunate event happened and there was a sinkhole that formed. So maybe they got some money from the community and stuff that was like, oh, this is a really sucky thing to happen. Maybe they did a GoFundMe page. We don't know what they did, but they ended up getting some money and they said, hey, this is to help fill in the sinkhole. This is to help get you off your feet and everything. And this house was just like, you know what, screw it, we are going to build our house over the sinkhole. Instead of filling up the sinkhole, let's get a fairly okay house. So that is kind of what I imagined. When they could have filled in the sinkhole, they just decided to get a better house, and that is kind of the idea I was working with. I do just put a bunch of rocks and everything at the bottom of a sinkhole. I believe that sinkholes are generally formed due to the water table that is below the ground or something along those lines. It happens through erosion, and then because the support structure isn't the best, everything just kind of collapses. So I put a little bit of water at the bottom of the sinkhole. Maybe that was the cause of the erosion or whatever. And I also put these kind of planks across the sinkhole, so that's how they get from one place to another. So again, this house is a big safety hazard. There is a giant sinkhole, and instead of trying to fix it, they just put bridges under. And I tried to use columns to make it seem like it was supports to kind of hold up the little planks for the sinkhole, but I couldn't get the columns to go up any higher. I think it's similar to the height of a room, where it's very difficult to go past a certain limit, and I think that was kind of what was happening here. So if you look very carefully, the support structure doesn't actually connect to the planks, but you know what? This is just a build in The Sims. Let's just move on. We don't need to know that detail. And this is basically the house. The idea I was kind of going for is that maybe, obviously, this is a safety hazard, so this isn't the best house to live in. And I did kind of design it to be in a way that the parents wouldn't really be that involved in this house. They probably just bought this property and they would be hanging out maybe at a different lot. I did move in a family into this lot just to kind of add personality to this build. So if I make a family in Create a Sim and then I put them on a lot, I can kind of base the lot around their personality, so that way the house will be more personal. And the family that I added had a single mother, and you'll see later when we do her room, there's not much in her room, so I kind of imagine she's like never home, and she just kind of leaves her two teen boys to like rule the house, and this is their hangout area, and they're probably not involved in the best of things. But that was just the idea I was going for. Of course, if you want to download this off of the gallery, I'll have my origin ID down below in the description. But you're more than welcome to renovate this entire place, fill in the sinkhole if you please. And if you do that, then you're more than welcome to tweet me a picture or do whatever that social media stuff is. I'm really bad with social media, but you're more than welcome to do that, because I would love to see the renovations if you decide to do anything like that. I also decide for the sinkhole, I'm going to add some more greenery, some overgrowth, just to make it look like, okay, the water's been there for a really long time. It's gotten very murky. There are literally like plants or weeds or whatever you want to call it hanging off of like the rocks that are built into the sinkhole. So that just kind of added a little bit more personality to the sinkhole itself, I think, which is why I decided to do that. I do try and add a few more details using these jungle adventure trimmings. I don't know if trimmings is the right word, but I do try and add them. It didn't work for a lot of different places on the house, but every now and again it did work. And we are going to have a kitchen area over here, as well as a dining area and the entrance kind of area, and then the lounge will be one big room. The bathroom will be half over the sinkhole. You can kind of imagine where everything kind of goes, which I thought was a really funny thing to do. And for the kitchen, there's nothing really special. I did this build quite a while ago, so at this stage, I think I basically just got the game packs for me. So I got Parenthood, Jungle Adventure, as well as Spa Day. So I was experimenting a lot with these game packs to kind of see what it all had to offer. And so I was just like putting everything in. I was kind of like exploring everything. and seeing different ways that I could do a bunch of different things. There is one of these son's room that is going to be a more of a blue type of room. There's going to be like a lot of posters and everything, and I decided to make this weird bed creation because I wanted a headrest, but a very like comfy headrest, so I merged that with a chair, and then I put a mirror at the foot of his bed because maybe that's built in or something. I don't know, I love making new furniture out of already existing furniture. That is just something that I feel so accomplished with, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I made my own thing, how cool is that? And it just brings so much more possibilities, because then you can make a lot of different styled rooms, a lot of different styled houses, and it all doesn't look too much the same. So that is why I keep playing with furniture. You'll see I'll try and do that a lot in my builds, and that is the main reason, just for some more variety in my builds. I do make this room fairly messy, so there is a lot of laundry that's just been thrown on the floor. And I also wanted to put in a basketball hoop into this room, but the walls weren't high enough. So when I try and put the basketball hoop in, it kind of clips with the roof. So instead, I just decided to put that decal on the wall, which I think came with Parenthood. So I decided, you know what, I'll just put that decal on the wall, and it kind of, in a way, looks like you could be sitting from the chair and you like pretend to throw in the basketball, and it kind of like matches with the decal. I don't know, that is just kind of what I was busy thinking about. I think parts of this house looks very family friendly. Like, there is a lot of colors, there is a lot of furniture. You'll see that, I don't know if it's in a minute or in a little while, but we're going to put like those decorative plates everywhere that came with the Sims 4 Parenthood, and it really does look like a family home. But if you go with the storyline that I kind of said, it's very sad if the mom's not even there and it's just the two teenage boys that have to like fend for themselves. So this build can really go both ways. You don't have to stick to my storyline. You could easily just change up the mother's room to make it a double parent room or even a single parent room, and just make it look a little bit more lived in, because I think that's the only room that really gives the impression like, okay, maybe, you know, she's not here as much as you would think she's here. Another impression that I wanted to go for is that a lot of this furniture is kind of worn down. You can look at the tables and it kind of like looks like the wood has been used quite a lot. It's not all neat and clean. There's like kind of pipes still kind of sticking out and everything. And the funny thing is you get this beautiful, colorful, illuminating bar with a bunch of drinks hanging off of the shelf. And I thought that was something really funny because, you know, the stove is kind of like this old-fashioned type of stove. The counters are a little bit worn down. Like, just everything doesn't look as new as it could be, but then you get like this amazing bar. So you can definitely tell where a lot of the money for this house probably went to. It probably went to like all of the alcohol, and the rest of the furniture, they like, okay, let's go to the flea market and see what we can pick up. So that was something that I found kind of funny to do. Over here's the bathroom, and I would be terrified to use this bathroom. I was gonna make a joke, but that's very inappropriate. But this is really scary because it's literally the only room that's hanging over the sinkhole. And just imagine you like sitting on the toilet, doing your thing, having a good time, releasing those demons, and everything starts falling from beneath you. How scary will that be? And at one stage, this was really hard to make, by the way. It's just the fact that it was over a sinkhole made the camera move super quickly, so I kept flying off of the bathroom and I would end up on the opposite side of the lot. I did cut out most of those parts because it would have been annoying to watch, but it was really annoying to do this build. And at some stage I was like, you know what? I'm going to put the toilet kind of where the plank would join, so it kind of looks like, at least if you're on the toilet in your vulnerable state doing your thing, then if the entire build crumbles down, then you would at least still be on the plank. So you would just like be sitting on the plank, sitting on the toilet, and be like, I can't go anywhere. The rest of the room crumbled down. So that was just something that I did for the build. I think this build is more comical than anything else because there's so many things that I just kind of put in just to give it kind of more personality, and it was really funny for me at the time. I'm still laughing now. I'm laughing now. This is my laughing voice. Over here we have the second room. So this is the type of room that I thought would kind of work out well if maybe this person didn't always pay for the goods he brought back. So I kind of imagined the sim to be a bit of a kleptomaniac. So there's quite a few things in this room where you're just like, why would you even have that? But I just kind of imagine maybe this is the type of sim who is kind of like acting out. You know, maybe his mother's not here all the time. He literally has a house built over a sinkhole because they didn't want to fill in the sinkhole. So to cope, he just kind of like takes random things here and there. So there's a lot of like random things in this room. There's a microphone, easel. There's just a bunch of weird things, and that was just kind of what I imagined. Like maybe this guy just kind of like would walk past stores and just like take something and keep walking and just add it to his collection. So that is just something that I thought was really funny. I also added in a bubble blower into his room because I wanted a bubble blower somewhere on this lot. I feel like this was one of the perfect houses to add a bubble blower, but at the same time going with the household I imagined for this, if there is not a proper guardian on this lot, then of course the teens would just blow bubbles whenever they could. So it doesn't make much sense that if there's nobody to monitor them, why would you have the bubble blower like outside or try and hide it away? Like if there's no one here to inspect your room or no one here to guide you or anything, then you might as well have a bubble blower in your room. You know, why not? And maybe even if the mom is there, she doesn't care. So that is kind of why I put the bubble blower in. You can also see me just adding in a few small knickknacks. And I also decided to add in this ancient coin, which I believe came with Jungle Adventure. And I thought that was absolutely hilarious because that is an art piece that I would imagine belongs to a affluent family or to a museum or something. And this kid just has it chilling in his room. Like, I thought that was really funny to add in. Over here, we are just working with the mother's bedroom, and there's literally nothing special about this room. There is just a bed, a bunch of boxes. I wanted it to seem like she literally just moved into this house without actually unpacking all of her furniture or anything. Maybe she didn't plan on staying there too long, or maybe she just didn't feel like it was worth the effort. So she just got a normal stool and kind of made that her end table and was like, okay, when I'm home, I can sleep here, but I'm not going to spend all my time here, so there's no reason to unpack my furniture or my stuff. And that was kind of the idea I was going for. Over here, we are busy with the lounge area, and I also like the way this lounge turned out because there's like a random baseball leaning against one of the vases. We are going to add in a money bag that we're going to hide behind the vases. So I thought that was absolutely funny because where would you get all that money from? I don't know. It's super dodged, just like this house. So that really went with the theme. And there is nothing too special about this living room. I think I tried to add in a bar. I don't remember if I do add in a bar. Due to the power of editing and being able to look forward in these screenshots, I can indeed verify that we do keep the bar. So we have that little makeshift bar that is also in the lounge area. And over here, we are just working on the entranceway. So there's nothing too much going on in the entranceway. I still wanted to kind of keep the theme that maybe they got a lot of the stuff from the flea market, so not everything is the best quality. And so I didn't try and get really expensive furniture. I wanted furniture that could kind of look worn down or kind of look like it could have been secondhand. I also decided to add in some letters that I put on top of the little end table by the entrance, and I would kind of imagine that maybe those are bills, and because there's not a adult that is in the same house, then the kids just keep putting all the bills together and like, oh, eventually someone will sort it out. So they just kind of like leave it there and they form a little pile. Over here, we are just doing the exterior and the landscaping, and there's nothing too special about this. I think the only thing that I was really struggling with for this point is that I am not really used to a climate that would go with this type of looking world. I wouldn't imagine that there would have been a lot of greenery, but when you look around the world of Oasis Springs, there is actually quite a few clumps of greenery, so I decided to add that on the lot anyway. I tried adding in trees, but it just didn't really fit with the build. So I just wanted the garden to look kind of unkept. There's not much of a garden, and the only thing about the landscaping is that there's a lower area around the back where you can have a grill and chill. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the way this build turned out, especially because I had a certain mindset when going into this build. I feel like I was really able to portray my idea, and when you kind of listen to the story that I had in mind, you can kind of make the connections like, okay, not the best furniture, best bar, there's some trouble over there, the fact that there's a bubble blower in the room, there are just a lot of quirky things about this build that I think makes it a really fun build to be in. And of course, I don't think this would be a very realistic build. I feel like if you are living in a house that is built over a sinkhole, please fill it up. That doesn't sound safe. That is definitely a safety hazard. So I feel like it's a lot of fun for me to play with these type of things in The Sims 4. So that is the build in all of its glory. I hope you guys enjoyed this build. If you did, please remember to hit that like button and comment down below for which builds you would like to see me do next. I will also have my social medias linked down below, as well as my origin ID if you want to check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!